Hibs.
Yeah, Gordon going with his usual 3-5-2, which means he can match up with Celtic in terms of formation. Of that back three, I'd expect John Hughes to lock on to John Hartson, and that should be a decent physical contest throughout this match. The two wide players I think particularly important for Ayr this afternoon, Robertson and Lovering. Lovering in particular will be asked to go all the way onto Didier Agat, to go very, very tight on him, even if that means having to push up to the halfway line to do so. And I think Gordon's idea today is to get him tight, allow the space in behind, sure, but make sure that David Craig is aware of that and offers Lovering a little bit of protection down the right-hand side. Marvin Wilson of the midfield three, the central midfield three, I think will be asked to pick up Stilian Petrov. That, of course, is easier said than done these days. And of the front two, Scott Crabb, I think at times will drop off. And there will be times in the match where Ayr are backed up, where they're defending deep. If they can get the ball into Crabb's feet, he takes it in well enough and he holds it in well enough that Ayr might just get up the pitch.
Well, Celtic have Bobo Bauda and Neil Lennon back. Both missed the midweek trip to Motherwell with knee injuries. Tom Boyd and Lubomir Moravcik make way. Steve Guppy keeps his place even though Alan Thompson's available after a 3-match ban. Thompson is on the bench. Chris Sutton and Jos Valharen are long-term casualties, but 20-year-old Stephen Craney has proved his worth in Valharen's absence. He'll start for Scotland in France on Wednesday.
Yeah, a couple of changes in personnel, Ian, but it's like a well-oiled machine. The formation never changes, and rarely does the performance dip either. I think a danger for Ayr tonight, with Mjällby, Balde, Larsson and Sutton up front, they're going to have to be on their toes, set pieces in particular. Neil Lennon in, of course, for Moravcik, and that should give Petrov a bit more licence to get forward, a bit more freedom, that he can bomb forward. And this is one thing that Ayr are going to have to be aware of. When Larsson and Petrov do this crossover, when Larsson drops off, Petrov goes beyond. Ayr are going to have to really be aware of that today.
Well, it's Ayr United's third appearance at Hampden Park in the space of 6 weeks. They're quite getting used to the place. There's been talk of Ayr building a new stadium to replace their decrepit Somerset Park home. One of their fans said, "We've got a new stadium, it's called Hampden." Ayr are not here by fluke, they are here on merit. They deserve to be walking out alongside Celtic at the home of Scottish football, Hampden Park. Cover your eyes, Celtic fans, this man will haunt you. Paul Shearin's penalty for Inverness Cally Thistle sealed John Barnes and Celtic's fate 2 years ago, one of the major cup upsets. Scott Crabb knows what it's like to beat Celtic in a Scottish Cup semi-final. He was in the Falkirk team that did just that in 1997. And so too was keeper Craig Nelson. Falkirk went on to lose the final to Kilmarnock. Nelson has been an ever-present for Ayr this season. He could be in for a busy evening because Henrik is here. 9 goals in his last 5 visits to Hampden, and if he doesn't get you, there's a good chance someone else will. Stuart Dougall's in charge of Celtic for the second time this week. He was also the ref at Motherwell on Tuesday. Ayr United have beaten a third of all SPL clubs in cup competitions this season. Kilmarnock, Dunfermline, Hibs and Dundee United have all fallen to the First Division giant killers. In football, dreams often come true, but for Ayr United, beating Celtic is surely the impossible dream. It would be one of the biggest shocks ever in world football. Certainly as far as the Scottish Cup is concerned, it would be up there with Celtic 1, Inverness Cally Thistle 3, with Berwick Rangers 1, Rangers 0. But there is the proof, I suppose. It can happen. Those connected with Ayr United probably believe in miracles right now, but it would be just like Celtic to give them a reality check. And ball straight away from Grady.
Yeah, I think Ayr will just want to do as well in the early stages of the game as they did last week against Rangers, and if they can get through the early period of the match, they'll start to grow into the game, the confidence will start to grow. And that will be the idea, but Gordon Dalziel very relaxed when we spoke to him when we arrived at the ground. This is a bonus for Ayr United. He's going to enjoy the occasion.
A tremendous achievement, taking Ayr to the League Cup final last week and to the Scottish Cup semi-final this week. It's semi-final weekend at Hampden. Rangers against Partick tomorrow. An old firm final, beckoning big time. Scott Crabb, though, chases this, closely watched by Bobo Balder. Not a lot of support around for Crabb at the moment, although he does have Lovering nearby. Now Marvin Wilson. Here is Big John Hughes. Away by Stephen Craney, the 20-year-old who has been so impressive in fleeting appearances really this season. Lovering chasing, but Didier Agat is there, and Lovering might well be in. That's gone out. Might well be in for a torrid afternoon. He's a big Celtic fan, actually. Yeah,
he's going to push right up as we suggested. Even this early in the match, you can see he's halfway inside the Celtic half, going on to Didier Agat. And I think you're better doing that. Leave the space in behind it, and you know, Gordon's hope will be that David Craig in particular can provide a bit of cover down that side. But I don't think you can afford to let Agat turn with the ball and run at you.
John Hughes against John Hartson could also be a rather intriguing tussle.
Yeah, this man John Hughes won't be pulling out of any challenges, that's for sure.
Hughes, the air captain, will take this free kick. Sheerin. James Brady is up against one of his best pals today, Robert Douglas. They were teammates together at Dundee. Is Craig. Yeah, United lost the toss as far as who would have first choice on the kick front is concerned today. Hence they have reverted to their second strip of yellow. Craney. Balder. A little bit casual, and Brady was able to nip in. Now Pat McGinley, who's been there, seen it, done it. David Craig got a little casual, and it's scooped up now by Henrik Larsson. That could be ominous for air. Guppy, who keeps his place in the side, his fourth successive start. His best run in the Celtic team, even though Alan Thompson is available after suspension. Paul Lambert, inspirational this season, and a contender for Scotland's Player of the Year. It's got to be between him and Lorenzo Amoruso, really. Neil Lennon missed the game at Motherwell with a knee injury. Petrov and Hartson, Hughes in the way, but free kick's going to be given for the foul on Petrov.
Yeah, Marvin Wilson reckons Petrov went down too easily there, but I think Gordon will be happy that he was aware of Petrov's movement in the first place. You see him matching the run there, the arms are up, and that's why Stuart Dougal has penalised him. And this is a real chance for Celtic to get a shot on target here.
Some concern here for Craig Nelson then, and Ayr United. Larsson, Petrov and Lambert loitering. Petrov moves away. That'll be a job for Henrik, surely. It is Henrik Larsson, but it's rising up and away.
Just got the ball up a bit too quickly there, doesn't really get any top spin on it. And this is Larsson's range. Usually on the edge of the box, he's very, very accurate at finding either top corner.
Martin O'Neill yet, of course, to lose a game in the Scottish Cup. 8 wins and 1 draw in this competition so far. Dunfermline took him to a replay. Nobody else has had much of a look in, really. United third in the First Division, 17 points behind the leaders Partick Thistle, who of course will be here tomorrow against Rangers. The First Division flag flying high in the Tennant Scottish Cup this season. Didier Agat skipping past Lovering, and he gets a corner.
Neil Duffy who got across there, and just you know, you see the awareness of their central defenders. Anytime Agat runs at Lovering, they're trying to get one in behind there.
Gordon Dalziel was a bit worried about these sort of situations, and no wonder. Celtic with plenty of physical presence, but he has some big boys in there too. Guppy with that left foot delivers, and it's a spectacular, well, it might have been a spectacular effort from Petrov. Brady. Lambert minding the shot.
Nowhere to go there. Held it up well, James Grady, but needed a bit of help. And that's going to be the problem, because there will be times where their front two are isolated, and there's going to be a big gap between their midfield and their front two, and anything that is played up has to be taken in to allow you to get up the pitch.
Watson, who wasn't on the score sheet in Motherwell, although certainly not for the one to try. Hughes and rather Duffy into the back of Henrik Larsson. Lennon into Larsson. Bobbles through to Nelson.
I did well though to wrong foot Neil Duffy to make the space in the first instance, so good crisp ball played into feet by Lennon there. Just a little drop in the shoulder, changed his weight. Larsson at his best there.
The last 5 meetings between these teams have all been in the League Cup competition, and Celtic won all 5. Last time they met in the Scottish Cup was 1977, and Celtic needed a replay to get through then. If they need a replay this time, it will be on Tuesday, April the 2nd here. Here's Duffy, played for both Dundee clubs. Brave thing to do. Lennon, Petrov, Lambert. Magnificent midfield that Celtic have, but then again, pretty good all-round team, really. Hartson. Again. Delivering does enough. It's remarkable, really, that United have accounted for a third of the Scottish Premier League in cup competitions this season. They haven't actually been in the top flight themselves since the end of the 1970s. Some would say they were the better team against Rangers in the first half last week. They certainly posed problems for the other half of the Old Firm. And it might have been a different story, I suppose, had they not conceded just before the break in that game and just after. Mjällby. Lennon steps in. Now Didier Gat says goodbye to Lovering. It's Sheeran who's trying to have a go at him now. Oh, lovely touch from Lambert. It was Sheeran. We will never forget that night when Inverness Caley Thistle went to Celtic and dumped them out of the Scottish Cup. Didier Agad already looking ominous, but he was stopped in his tracks there, and it'll be a free kick.
Well, I left David Craig for dead there as he came inside Didier Agad, and they didn't really have much protection in behind on that occasion here. Well, they're trying to double up as often as possible. It's a body check by Paul Lovering that takes him out of the game, but they're trying to double up at every opportunity when Didier Agad gets the ball.
Lambert whips it in. Guppy tries again. Balder is still up there. Here's John Robertson, who ran into Craney. Brady came to help out though, and now Scott Crabb, who helped Livingston win promotion last season, played a very prominent part for them, offside.
Yeah, I needed it earlier, Pat McGinley. He must have known he was well off here when it's played forward. So he will be has to get forward at every opportunity. Marvin Wilson will be the sitting player there. On either side of him, Paul Sheeran and Pat McGinley will be asked to support the front two.
Here is McGinley, but not for long. Now Lambert, looking to release Didier Agas, cut out by Lovering. He's given the brush off by Paul Lambert.
That gets it up the pitch into the Celtic half. Might just decide to throw this long, play for a knockdown.
Craig delivers. Sheeran tried to flick. He's hanging in there. Now Wilson. Brady's got a free kick, and this could be rather promising for Ayr United.
He took the ball in well here, James Grady. Mjällby very tight. I think Mjällby said to Stilian Petrov that he was well positioned there, but the free kick was needlessly given away. And again, it's in the kind of area that Ayr might just ask a question of Rob Douglas here.
Well, Paul Sheeran might just fancy it. He's been known to have a dig from distance. It is Sheeran. It was blocked by Craney. That looking to race away. He has frightening pace. Showed too much of that really, but when he gets going, he is rather difficult to keep up with. United beat Devon Vale 6-0 in the third round, then took care of Dunfermline 3-0 before beating Dundee United in a replay. And Celtic, well, they haven't conceded a goal yet in this competition this season. 5-0 winners at Alloa in round 3, and then 2-0 winners at Kilmarnock and at Aberdeen. Gat. Always got his cross in, but it's going to carry to Craig Nelson. Missed a game this season and never present between the sticks for Ayr. The only other man to start every game is this man, Robertson. Larsson's flip to Hartson. Here comes the super Swede again. It's one of his favourite grounds, Hampden Park, Henrik Larsson. But that's tamely into the midriff of Nelson.
That was great link-up play initially though by Larsson, combining with Hartson to make the space. And you saw Petrov bombing on beyond him, providing an alternative for Larsson had he so chosen.
Crab. Sheeran. Into the feet of Grady. McGinley, and here's Robertson! Ooh, what a chance for Ayr. It's a pretty comfortable save in the end by Robert Douglas.
Yeah, cleanest chance of the match so far. Did well here to get away from Neil Lennon. Good run. Just doesn't quite get a hold of it. Can't quite find the far corner, but a good run and the best chance that Ayr have had so far.
Been said about the pitch at Hampden, which as you can see is pretty poor, especially on this side. Alex McLeish called it a disgrace, and that was Alex being nice, I think, but it is due to be dug up and relayed before the Scottish Cup final and of course the Champions League final. Quarter of an hour gone. Hartson, and that will just trickle away from Petrov. Pat McGinley. Celtic have won the Scottish Cup a record 31 times. Side flag goes up against James Grady.
I don't think it's the kind of service that the front two would appreciate anyway. The long ball in the air there, they're not going to win their share against Celtic's back three. It's going to have to be into feet.
Graney. Here's Sheeran. Brady. Crabb. Hanging in there. Robertson to Grady, but Lambert has it now for the Scottish Cup holders. In no mood to give up their grip on this famous trophy. Neil Lennon. This is Didier Agathe. Catch him if you can. Pat McGinley's giving it a good try, and eventually well, that's one way to stop him.
It's needless because the guy's going nowhere there. Again, just crowded out here. Look at the yellow jerseys trying to get to Agathe. And by the time he's taken down, he really has nowhere to go in the corner.
Comes Bobo, and a few others too are waiting for Steve Guppy's free kick. Craig Nelson, well, he could have caught that, couldn't he? Neil Lennon. Lambert. Guppy still on that side, having taken the free kick. Now Lennon, who played with Guppy at Leicester. Grady, he's done well there. He's hooked it onto McGinley. And the flick from Brady will go straight through to his former Dundee teammate Douglas.
Well, you see most of the play confined to the midfield area, but John Robertson having perhaps the cleanest chance of the match so far. But they're just starting to be backed up a bit now, as we expected.
Big fear when you're up against Celtic or Rangers come to that is that you concede an early goal. Well, that hasn't happened. And Ayr are giving a good account of themselves, as they did against Rangers in last week's League Cup final, especially in the first half. Steve Guppy tracking back.
That's priceless defending. You know, and it's white players don't get a lot of credit for that. It doesn't make any headlines, but it's priceless, and the two Celtic white boys do it so well. They walk the entire length of the pitch.
Larson, Petrov, 3 goals in the last 5 games for the Bulgarian. Nearly had another at Motherwell, a spectacular one on the volley, but didn't quite work out. Johan Mjällby. Valda. Crabb. Crabb sends it across to Sheeran. Now Lovering. Those two combining, and Sheeran trying to get in. Now Grady. Pat McGinley's got himself into the box, just went over his head.
Yeah, I think if anything, maybe Steve Guppy just too deep there. Had he stepped up, Pat McGinley would have been offside. You see Steve Guppy ends up in the left back position and plays Pat McGinley onside. A well-constructed move down the left-hand side by Ayr, but when the ball comes in, if Guppy steps up, well, no, he wouldn't have been offside. Good decision by Guppy in actual fact. A typical Pat McGinley run.
On by Hartson. Henrik Larsson muscles in and was fouled by Marvin Wilson. The strikers have been joined by Balder as Steve Guppy looks to torment Air. That canned off Crab, and it'll carry through to Nelson. He played in the 1997 final. The Falk Cup, they lost to Kilmarnock, but they did account for Celtic in the semi-finals that year in one of the cup shocks. Hartson and into Hughes. Neil Lennon though, that's handball from Hartson. Martin O'Neill enjoyed great cup success in England with Leicester City in the League Cup, also won that tournament twice as a player with Nottingham Forest. The FA Cup south of the border eluded him somewhat, but the Scottish Cup, well, he won that in his first season in charge along with everything else. Celtic last won back-to-back Scottish Cups at the end of the 1980s. Larson, Petrov, Hartson, and Agat was struggling to get that. Lovering thought he was shut off. Mjolby. Hartson. He might still have a go! John Hartson, it whistles wide.
Yeah, got a very fortunate break of the ball here to make the space in the first place. But it looks as if he's in the mood today, John Hartson. Gets a little break there. All of a sudden it opens up. Larson trying to take defenders away. You see Larson trying to take Neil Duffy away to open up the space for John Hartson there.
Well, he has 19 goals in 38 games for Celtic. A fairly decent return, you have to say, for the man who very nearly joined Rangers but failed a medical at Ibrox. Lambert's throw. After the second week running, the old firm aren't finding the going particularly easy against Ayr United of the First Division. Ayr beat Hibs here in the semi-finals of the League Cup. They lost the final of that competition to Rangers last week. And here they are, back yet again at Hampden Park. And Ayr reached the semi-finals of the Scottish Cup a couple of years ago. They played Rangers and were beaten 7-0. A game famous for a touch of showboating from Andrei Kanchelskis. Hughes. Away by Guppy. And Hartson now looking to combine with Larson. He does just that. John Hartson! Ooh! Another one that goes wide from the Welshman.
It's a terrific exchange between the Celtic front two. I don't think he actually gets it clean here. And I think we'll see it. And he has to take it on the half volley, has to take it early. He's being squeezed. I don't think he gets it flush. Plenty of time to measure it. Hits it on the slightly on the up and drags it wide.
Here's Craney. Now Petrov, and he's going to get a free kick as he's wrestled to the ground.
He's taking a sore one there, Pat McGinley. But again, you see his willingness to get goal side of Petrov here. No intention of allowing the Bulgarian to run at his back three.
Steve Guppy there was just getting a touch of treatment, by the way, for a knock on his ankle. It's a throw for Ayr United, who are holding their own once again against the might of Glasgow.
Yeah, I think Gordon Dale will be pretty pleased with what he's watching, and the one thing that Ayr have done is that they've closed Celtic well in the wide areas. They've pressed the ball well, they've doubled up, and Celtic really haven't got anything across the face of goal yet from the wide areas.
I think he's been living in dreamland this past week, taking on Rangers one week and Celtic the next. An extraordinary achievement, really. But they're not just here for the day out. The pitch is at its worst on this side, as you can probably see. Here's Lennon. Larson. Lennon. Agat renews his acquaintance with Lovering. Hartson. Guppy. Lambert available. Craney. Away by Hughes. Steve Guppy is still struggling with that ankle problem. Yes, they do have Alan Thompson on the bench. He's back from a 3-match ban. McGinley. Neil Lennon keeping a check on things. Here's Lambert releasing Didier Agat. Agat looking unstoppable. It's gone out. Must have been close.
It must have been very tight. That all came from a slack pass from Marvin Wilson in the Celtic half of the pitch, and cut out by Paul Lambert. All of a sudden they get Agat free on the right hand side, and for the first time it was almost to the byline there. It's the correct decision, but a warning there for Ayr that they can't afford to give the ball away cheaply.
Well, Alan Thompson is going to be coming on shortly for Celtic because Steve Guppy is unable to continue after taking a knock on the ankle. What a shame for this lad. He's finally got a run in the team, but Guppy hobbles off, and on comes Alan Thompson.
That's like for like. Celtic don't have to change the system. Thompson more than comfortable playing wide left.
Guppy cursing his luck, really. Marvin Wilson. Grady took it down well. Sheerin. Lovering was well advanced again. Now Crabb. Celtic one win away from clinching the title and one win away from reaching the Scottish Cup final. Almost half an hour gone at Hampden Park, and this is Bobo Bala, the formidable Frenchman. Thompson just on for the injured Guppy. United were kicking themselves last week. They'd done so well against Rangers in the first half, but just before half-time, Flo scored, and then just after half-time they gave away a penalty. Thin lines between success and failure.
The one thing they can't afford to do is give away a cheap goal. You know, they'll put in so much work, and they haven't done a lot of chasing here.
Here's Hartson though. A bit of a burst from him. Ooh! Hartson was waiting, but it was pushed away. And it's going to be a corner.
Vital touch by John Hughes, because Craig Nelson's under this. Hartson does so well here to dig it out into the back post area, almost in the byline. But for the touch by John Hughes, Hartson had a simple header.
Petrov's corner. Brady held it up well, as he usually does. Now Sheeran moving away from Agat, who's run it out. Let's check out some of the Sunday action for you. The Premiership Plus pay-per-view match is a cracker from Anfield. 08705 160 160 for details on how to see Liverpool against Chelsea from 1:30 tomorrow. And Super Sunday is a London derby, Fulham against Tottenham, hoping to pick up the pieces of their season. It's on Sky Sports 1 from 3 o'clock. Paul Lovering, a huge Celtic fan. He was sent off when playing against them for Hibs once, and in the same game that Frank Sosie also saw red. I think the occasion got to Paul though. Douglas will get to that cross. Whoops.
Can't blame the surface for that, Rob.
One to smile about. It's been a wonderful week for Ayr United. Hampden Park fast becoming their new home. Hughes' error though has let in Alan Thompson. Now Larson and Hartson waiting in the middle. It's cut out by Duffy, and it needed to be.
Well, he did his fellow defender a major turn there, Neil Duffy, by squeezing Thompson out, because it was a terrible square pass from John Hughes that eventually led to Ayr being exposed down the left hand side there, and they just can't afford to do that against a side of this quality.
Petrov delivers. Hartson looking to get on the end of it, but it was steered away. Craig, now Lennon. Lambert. Thompson inviting him to have a go. He does just that. Hartson trying to help it on. And it's the keeper's ball though, just.
That's a good ball at the line by Stephen Craney. Larson is passive as the ball is played forward, and that's why the flag stayed down, but immediately he turned to go for it, quite rightly. He was penalised. But a good ball at the left hand side by Stephen Craney, and a good example of his crisp, accurate passing.
Two First Division sides in the semi-finals of the Scottish Cup this season, and that hasn't happened since 1938. Last time two teams from outside of the top flight made it to the last four, and one of the teams in that year, East Fife, actually went on to win the cup. It's certainly going to be asking a lot of Ayr United and Partick Thistle to follow suit, but Ayr are doing okay at the moment, that's for sure.
Good ball.
It's released Robertson. Can he deliver? Can, but Paul Lambert is waiting to receive. Now Thompson. Header from Hughes. Grady never one to give up. Ever lively. Gordon Diel celebrated his 40th birthday a week ago on the eve of the League Cup final. Thompson. Celtic were absolutely awesome at Motherwell on Tuesday night. One of their best performances of the season, and a performance achieved without the injured Sutton and Valharan and Balder and Lennon on that night. They haven't quite been able to find the same rhythm today though against an Ayr United side who are refusing to budge or give them an inch. Petrov Lennon. Looking for Hartson. Goal kick.
I think John Hughes felt that John Hartson was leading with his left arm here, but he's up well. Hartson comes blind side of John Hughes, and he's in an area that's close enough that he can score from here. And I don't think John Hughes has any case for complaint there. But it's a good contest, and one that John Hughes won't back off.
From Creaney, he's going to give Ayr a free kick. He's Lovering on the receiving end.
Yeah, it takes Stephen Creaney's full weight here. Stephen Creaney, I think, trying to play the ball, but Lovering just too quick for him there.
Lovering, a big Celtic fan. It's a dream date for him, taking on his heroes, really, at Hampden.
I think this is the kind of situation that you'll have to make the most of those set pieces around the Celtic goal. Try and get a decent ball into the box, and you know, however much physique and height Celtic have in that box, if the quality of the ball in is good enough, then you can put anyone under pressure.
And Paul Sheeran is the man for the free kicks normally. Sheeran delivers, and Douglas not very convincing. It fell to Hughes. Robertson, not the greatest delivery, but Sheeran and McGinley looking to combine. Lovering back on. Ooh, it's into the side netting.
Oh, he's really got to pull it back. Plenty of yellow jerseys in that box there. He's got to come back across the face of goal. Once again, good bit of possession here by Ayr to get Lovering down the left-hand side. Three yellow jerseys on the edge of the 6-yard box. Hurricane him across the face of goal. Previous to that, I think Rab Douglas gave Bobo Balde a shout here. Balde backed off this. And Rab Douglas was hardly convincing.
But now, here's Lennon. Balde. Creaney. Down by Larson for Thompson. Here's Gordon Dalziel with the Ayr chairman, Bill Barr, responsible, of course, for many a football stadium. He actually is not an interfering chairman. A medical condition means that he gets a better view of things down there on the touchline, and that's why he stands alongside his manager. Can't think of too many managers who would like their chairman alongside him, mind you. But they're very close.
Gives Gordon a chance to get in his ear about the money they've made from this cup run. Might get a few quid from this.
Here's Hartson. Mialby. It's a feeling of deja vu, really. No goals. Similar to the League Cup final last week when Ayr held Rangers until just before half-time. I'm not convinced that Gordon Dalziel thought his team would hold out for the first half this week, but they're doing more than that. It's Grady closing in. Oh, and it's going to come through to McGinley. And, well, Lambert took the sting out of it.
Paul Lambert did ever so well, but terrific play by James Grady down the left-hand side here. Presses Neil Lennon, gets possession, needs help here, but holds it up until that help arrives. Picks his pass inside. And but for a terrific block there by Paul Lambert, Rob Douglas might have been stretched there.
Here's Creaney. Celtic trying to raise the stakes. Bit of space on the edge of the area for Henrik Larsson. Across it goes to Didier Agat. Skips past his man. It's going to come to Lennon. Creaney in towards Hartson. Gat was waiting for the fallout, but Craig Nelson will take the cross.
I think it took a nick off Paul Lovering, that's why it set up so well for Nelson.
Ronaldo wary of Grady's presence, or is he? Grady's got in! Oh! Very nearly a Scottish Cup shot.
Yeah, lack of communication there between Balda and his goalkeeper. And Grady, who has given nothing up this afternoon, as usual, is giving his heart and soul to this game. Anticipate it, and he almost gets his reward there. He's a yard out of luck.
Oh well, that would have been some moment for James Grady, who himself is a Celtic fan. Now John Hughes. Once again, it's been a superhuman effort from Ayr United against the Old Firm.
A painful one to lose a goal right on the stroke of half-time last week. Gordon Dale at the moment will be looking at that clock and thinking he's got a chance of getting in with a 0-0 at least.
Here is Didier Gat. It's going to be a corner. He was saying that he looked at the clock last week and it said 41 minutes and he thought, yeah, we're doing quite well here, and then they let a goal in. And they have a corner to defend now, which Thompson will come across and take, I suspect. Is it going to happen again to Ayr United just before half-time? Are they going to concede? Thompson sends it in. It's miscued somewhat by Petrov, and it will be taken by Nelson. Hughes. Too high for Grady. Not that it has to be too high as far as he's concerned, but once again he's been a willing worker, as he always was in his Dundee days when we used to see him play. Thompson crowded out by Lovering and Wilson initially. McGinley turned into trouble in the shape of Stilian Petrov and then hauled him down.
Well, Stuart Diggle produced a card here. Petrov was certainly on his way, breaking into a good position. Well, it's fortunate Stuart Diggle's going to have a word, but I think the card is going to stay in the pocket.
The final warning for McGinley. Alan Thompson certainly not afraid to have a go from here, despite the distance. Delivery's more likely though from Thompson, but it's straight out from Duffy. And Ayr have got a man down in their own box. Hughes, but he's up now, and doesn't matter anyway because Brady's sniffing again. Ooh, there's a problem here for Celtic, and Douglas beats away the shot from Sheeran, and Lennon is on hand to mop up.
Well, they got possession through their willingness to press the ball down the left-hand side here, United, forcing Celtic into giving up possession, and eventually Sheeran in a position to test Rob Douglas, and it was hardly one the Celtic goalkeeper could try and catch there, quite happily just getting the hands behind it and getting it away.
There's Duffy, Clarkson closing in on him. Just 1 minute of added on time in this first half. It's been another excellent effort from Ayr. Well, it looks like this time, I don't wish to tempt fate, Ayr might make it through to half-time goalless. Didn't quite manage it against Rangers last week. Here's Crabb. Balder to Mjällby. Grady chasing, of course. Ooh, Mjällby might have shown too much of that to Sheeran. Mjällby's hurt himself as Grady picks it up. Now Sheeran. Nothing on the shot really from Crabbe.
I think they've been better trying to pick out Pat McGinley there, who'd gone beyond him, and it does fall to Scott Crabbe. You watch McGinley going beyond here as the ball comes to Crabbe. McGinley's on his way, just out of vision on the right hand side there. He had gone beyond. It's going to take something special to score from there.
Well, it's half time and Ayr United are doing themselves proud at the home of Scottish football, and James Grady, a Celtic fan, nearly put them in front. We'll hear what Charlie Nicholas thinks of it in a moment with Jim. Half time in this semi-final at Hampden Park. Ayr United 0, Celtic 0.